Hey, what's good, everyone? Welcome to another reading. Um, Today, like this, this kind of reading was inspired by Spirit. Kind of gave me this word, which was attraction. But for whatever reason, I was kind of like questioning, like, why that? And I kind of got the kind of like the whisper or the vibe, the feeling like you had a lot of fire in you today, and it's true. Today I had some fire in me. Like, I'm not sure if it's the planets or what, but I had some fire. I had a lot of energy in me today. And I don't even mean that necessarily in a sexual way. Like, there's certain theories out there which you may have heard, whoever's listening to this, that all energy is sexual energy. But at least the mine wasn't necessarily sexual, but I definitely had some fire in me today. So I guess my energy and this message are just perfectly aligning today. So we're going to be talking about attraction. I'm guessing that is, almost like a reading of what maybe people find attractive about you, something like that. But we'll see what Spirit's got for us. So with the intro out of the way, as always, we've got pile number 1, pile number 2, and pile number 3. Get yourself comfortable, and we'll get stuck into pile number 1s. Okay, pile number 1s. What's attractive about you? I'm just kind of feeling out the style that this wants to come through. It feels like quite abstract, but I can't. I'm struggling to like communicate it. It's almost the pick a pile energies coming through, but it's different. Okay, so it's abstract. Bear with me though. Pile number 1s, because I almost feel like this energy hasn't come through before. Maybe it has, but it's kind of like these floating objects. So I'm kind of rocking with it right now. And obviously I'm a little bit confused as well. Like, how on earth is this going to be talking about attraction? I'm starting to think already, like, pile 2s, is that like a different repeated form? Like, I'm speaking with spirit, like, what's this? What are you playing at? Is it a joke? I don't think it's a joke, pile. Pile 1s. I think there's something gonna come through after I finish drawing it. Obviously, feel free to pause and see if you're able to code, or I should say decode, anything that's coming through. Okay, I'm gonna leave that there. So my architect brain is actually seeing almost like sheet metal or kind of roofing sheets. I'm not sure if anyone else here is familiar with what I'm talking about. The kind of things that you get, it's not just on sheds, but like warehouses and stuff like that. I think I know what Spirit's kind of doing here. It's, I think I'm gonna explain this, and you're gonna unpick how they're basically gonna explain traits. Just for the life of me, I can't understand how, like, this is so detached from human form. So I've got no idea why the readings come through like that, but it is what it is. So it's quite weird to explain. It's quite weird to describe this because, yeah, like I said, it is so detached from a from a human being. Um, and the first, sorry, I'm laughing so much because the first word that I'm getting is flexible. I'm not sure it's fucking with me here, but I've actually come into like what's it, physicality with this type of material. Like when it's metal, it's very rigid actually, but when it's made from felt, it's really flexible, so you can move it very easily. It's flexible. These rigid, so these curves, waves, are really like bendable. I don't even think that. I don't think this is talking about roofing. It's not talking about. That's just what I'm seeing. But it doesn't matter because the describing word is the same thing. So Spirit is trying to make me explain the fact that it's flexible. So pole number one's you flexible. I don't know why that's making me laugh so much as well. I guess I'm just seeing someone in a flexible position and it's making me laugh. I don't know why. Okay, so I guess that is attractive too. Well, I don't know. I don't know if it works the other way around. Like if a woman sees a dude like with his legs upside his head, and she goes, "God damn, that's sexy." I don't think they do, but I don't know, whatever floats your boat. Oh man, part number ones, thank you. Part number ones, maybe you just funny as fuck too. Maybe that's what people find attractive. Maybe you just funny. Oh, let me get myself more comfortable. Oh. Okay, so maybe funny, humorous. When I was seeing these forms as well, like, yeah, this was my mind getting into it too much. I started to have my architectural orgasm, and it wasn't that because I was actually seeing kind of primary colours here as well, like red these kind of objects with different shapes. Like oh gosh, there's a famous artist that I can't think of the name of, but he uses primary colours. Not sure if I've got a book at hand. Oh, if you know, you know, but it's like red, yellow, blue, and black, heavy black lines. Whoever that artist is usually draws squares. It was that kind of color palette. So pile number ones as well. You might be, because I'm thinking now like primary colors, primary. So you might be somewhat of kind of a leader, or at least like a strong kind of strong character, primary color. You might be somewhat of a. I do feel like you've got a little bit of an abstract side that people find attractive. But even by this drawing, right, it's not like I haven't just got my pen there and gone wild with it, or kind of John Pollocked it, just splattered. It's these things are floating, but it's very formatted. So if you was to kind of put that into attraction, it would be like, the way that I see it is, like if you was a bit quirky as a person, it's like it's somehow anchored in, it's somehow managed. You can look at someone and go, like, there's a fine line, isn't there, between quirky and crazy. People tend to like quirky, but you take that a bit further and you turn crazy, and people are just uncomfortable with that energy and they don't tend to like it. So I feel like pile number ones, you tread on that line quite elegantly, where you're on that more quirky side. It's like someone can see that you're, you might even, I might even compare that to this channel. It's like there's a fine line between the crazy and the quirky side of this channel. And I guess the way that you hold it together is attractive. So whatever your industry is, or however you present yourself, maybe pile number ones, there's something about that where it's seen attractive. You're not kind of safe, but then you haven't gone completely, like, people aren't looking at you sideways. But I'd say, I personally say, fuck them anyway. So yeah, I feel like pile number ones, they're the kind of traits. I'm not sure if you was kind of taking notes in that. That might have helped you to kind of just, or at least mental notes of kind of listing off those traits. I was also just getting drawn with, like, because there's waves here, but like the thing is that these waves are, like, let's say for example these waves are your emotions. It's like, it's interesting because even the waves are very stable. So like there's these different folds going on, but like they're stable though, which makes me, it kind of just brings me back onto that point where there's something about you where people look and they go, like I said, there's readings about attraction. So it's like it's like you're, people find you, people are curious about you, because you have these waves. But it's like people stay because they're stable. It's like you're kind of showing some form of control to the quirkiness. You know, I feel like I just really can't tell you how that really applies. I think I can only relate to it because of this channel. Um, but I really couldn't tell you how that maybe fits into your life. I can see how that would work. When I say quirky, I automatically think about someone who's quirky when they dress. So I can see that. It reminds me of someone who, you know, like when someone wears something and then they might wear like a very neutral color, and then they just have one item that they're wearing that pops. It's like that. If they wore all bright colors, it might be too overwhelming for people, but they wear something subtle and then they've just got one color that pops. That's kind of what this energy reminds me of, is you're good at that. And like I said, I can't tell you exactly how that fits into your career or even your personality. You might have to unpick that yourself, but that kind of trait is attractive for people. So, pile number ones, thank you for all the humour. I was able to calm the reading down towards the end, thank God. That flexible thing, I think that flexible thing at the start was definitely sexual. So I think for those who are interested in like the more sexual vibe, I think that's what that was getting at. And you know, like, doesn't literally need to be what I was explaining at the start, but there's maybe something about your like body, like it doesn't matter if you're male or female listening to this, but your body, there's something about it which you know is attractive because of its flexibility. Now it doesn't have to mean you know, like extreme flexibility, but it could even just be the way that you like move. Like maybe there's a like, do you understand what I'm saying? You know, like you might just have a comfortability in, like, for a good example of this, so it's not on the extreme of like flexibility in terms of you know, everyone knows what I mean when how that can turn sexual, but you can also kind of balance that out and say it's almost like, you know, when someone sits down and they sit down and just in a comfortable position, you know, like they're flexible, like it's not an extreme flexible, but it's like that feeling of comfortable in their skin. You know, even if they kind of slouch a little bit or whatever it is, like whatever you do, I should say, it's like even if you slouch or I don't know, even if you're really your posture is like really like sharp and tense, there's something about it which you look comfortable in it though. It's funny because I saw almost two different energies come through there when I was giving those examples. I was seeing an example of like a feminine who, when she sits, she almost had like a hand over a handbag, and she was perched up, and it didn't look necessarily comfortable, but she looked comfortable in her being. And then I just saw a dude, to be honest, who was kind of just like, you know, when someone like slumps into a chair, but he had some swag about him, and you know, like if someone looked at that, they would maybe go, that isn't the right way to sit on a chair, but because he's kind of swagging it out, it kind of looks like it suits him. Does it make sense? It's like, and I think that actually, although that was a hard thing to explain, I think that is really in tie with this whole kind of quirky thing coming through. It's like it doesn't meant to work, but it does, you know? So, pile number ones, I hope that was helpful for you. I hope you enjoyed the reading as much as I did. If you did, please do remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out the If You Pause website, ifyoupause.com, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace. Pile number two is what people find attractive about you. we've kind of just got like patterns kind of coming through today. At least that's what I think they are. What do you want to do there? Just got stopped in my tracks. From pile number one, so I was kind of thinking were these like architectural. My architectural mind just started to get all excited, and spirit kind of just slapped me on the wrist. Was like, nah, it's not that. One could argue, they kind of are, but not really, because I think spirit knows that I'll just completely run with that. Start talking about the structural forms of these shapes, and it's like spirit's like, no, 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 chill. But I am tempted here because in no way really do these forms remind me of a human being to even relate that to attractiveness. So the challenge here is I'm actually ringing off traits, and you're going to hopefully be able to tie those traits into how you're attractive. I'll obviously help along the way where I see those clues, but really you're just going to have to listen in to this pile number twos because it's not very, like I said, it's not very easy to relate this to a human attractiveness. But that's how the reading's coming through. So I was kind of getting like letters um, that I could see. One being T and one being F here. You could maybe say another T here and maybe an I. Tiff. That'd be really funny if there's like a Tiffany watching this. If there's a Tiffany watching this, please write that in the comments because that would be hilarious. Tiff, yeah, I'm seeing Tiff. You could also be fit, FIT. So you could work on your like body, or some people just look like they work out and they don't even work out. You might be lucky. You're one of those lucky people. Maybe seeing like lift as well. So yeah, maybe it's kind of a lot of giving me kind of gym vibes or exercise vibes. I'm also seeing like this gap here, like I didn't need to finish that, but kind of like maybe something to do with like, because the F and the I remind me a little bit of like finish, like something. Okay, I can see kind of the energy of that now. The energy's coming through like you're quite well like finished. it's reminding me of this is a bizarre analogy to make on what people find attractive about you part twos, but um, I was getting like in. I'm not sure if you have it in the country where you're listening to this from or where you're from, but there's dishwasher tablets called Finish tablets in the UK, and you're like, Zed, what the hell is that to do with attractiveness? But it's reminding me of like you're sparkling. Like I know that's a weird. This is a bit of a weird reading anyway, to be honest. All of them so far, but like you know how a glass comes up sparkling clean, like so people find that attractive about you that you've got a cleanness to you. There's a difference between like a glass that's been cleaned in the dishwasher um, and a glass that hasn't. You know, there's something about it which is just, it's kind of like crisp. So I'm using these words here because you can hopefully string it back to why people find you attractive. So there's the clean there, but there's also like well finished. It's like, I guess you could say you look after yourself, but it's kind of got an energy to it which is like um, it reminds me of like it's not the saying like if you've got it flaunt it. It's the energy it could be that could apply to you, but it's more of the energy of like you were really like maximizing what your gift is, like you're maximizing, you're making the, like you're really making the best out of what you got, you know. And I think that's attractive for people. So obviously don't take that the wrong way, Paltries. I'm not saying that you're not attractive and you're making yourself as attractive as possible. It's almost like you're really maximizing, you know, the gifts that you have. So it kind of reminds me of, let's say, for example, you had nice eyes and you're a female, like you really know how to do your eye makeup well to make your eyes enhanced and look even better. And I guess if you're a dude, you've got nice eyes, you're getting good sleep. Not like me over here. Um, yeah, parties. Let's see if there's anything else for you. I think that was even an eyelash there, so it's a confirmation. Uh, I feel here also like you might just be quite good with your boundaries. Like I'm coming back to this little bit that I just finished off. I think I think yeah, I think maybe people find that attractive. There's maybe something about your energy where it's like people know for sure that not anyone can have you, and they find that attractive. They know that you kind of got some firm boundaries up, so it's like I guess someone in their mind they're thinking if I had pile number twos, um, I don't even have to worry about all of the neighborhood having pile number twos because their boundaries that solid that you know people can't even get a conversation in with pile number two sometimes. So I don't know. Maybe that doesn't apply to all of you, but that's kind of coming through. Maybe if, I'm not necessarily saying that you're not social, but there's maybe something. Yeah, I'm gonna keep that. I'm gonna stand on that. I should say. I think there's something there which shows that you got good, that kind of good boundaries. It could even be like sometimes there's a boundary in someone's attractiveness too, right? So like I found that when people are very attractive, there's an automatic boundary there because people are almost scared to talk to that person, you know? because they're just attractive. You know, they've got an automatic shield. Yeah, I think that's it. Pole number 2 is. I think that is it. Feel free to pause the video though and sit on the energy, see if there's anything else that comes through. But I think for now, I'm gonna leave you to it. So if you like the video, please do remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out the If You Pause website, ifyoupause.com, and I'll see you in the next one. Okay, pole number 3 is what people find attractive. What people find attractive about you. I am kind of laughing a little bit today. I don't know. Too much coffee or something. But I literally got kind of vibes here of like, ooh la la came through. Ooh la la. So corny. Pile number 3. I don't know, maybe you're just in a jokery mood. A joking, funny mood. Maybe you're not funny all the time. That bit's coming in a little bit shorter. Interesting, pay attention to that. Pile number 3's. Pay attention, like that is shorter than that on purpose. So there's something here to do with like, like maybe like unexpected. You know, like when someone meets you, they might go, oh, you're taller than I thought. You're taller than I thought, or something like that is coming through. Or possibly even shorter than I thought. I don't necessarily think it's negative though. It's just there's something about you which is unexpected. Like I'll give you an example for me. I know sometimes people get shocked from me sometimes because I've got a kind soul, right? But sometimes people expect me to be just kind to people off the bat. So I know sometimes people get shocked by that from me sometimes. Like I can maybe come across quite serious to some people and they was expecting me to be, I don't know if that makes sense. You might be able to relate to this pile number 3. That's why I'm trying to share it with you so you can understand the energy. But like, I'm a kind person. Like if you see my work or my art, don't get me wrong, there's obviously like a depth to my work too, but generally I kind of show that side of myself, which is like, there's a kindness there. I'm not kind of afraid to be vulnerable with the kindness in my soul, which is authentic. And sometimes I feel like people get shocked because I can bite a head off too. And it's, I don't know, I guess people just struggle to realise that someone can be kind but then sharp also. So I feel like this is something that you're dealing with, but people obviously find it attractive. You know, so for me, Yeah, I'll give myself a little tap on the shoulder. I'd say people tend to find it attractive that I am kind-hearted, but then I also have a protective side. I also have the fighter in me too. Um, if I was kind of just the kind, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. It would attract a different type of person, I think. And if I was just the fighter without any kindness, then I would also attract a different type of person too. So there's a certain attractiveness with that duality. I feel like there's something in you, um, pole number three is which it could even be something that you question about yourself. You know, like, why am I like that? And that might be something that people actually find attractive. I can't actually see if I can move the camera up for you. It's a little bit more centered. I'm getting kind of a little bit here like so spirits, if I haven't already said pile number three, spirits already given me the slap on the wrist to say that these aren't architectural as much as I try and make them architectural. These are just forms which are relating to traits in your personality or character which people find attractive. So when I start rambling about um, the structural points of this shape and how we could start making these into rooms, best believe that that's me projecting. Because Spirit's already said to chill, this ain't architecture. But I was really confused because I was like, where's the bodies? Where's the people in this reading? And yeah, just like that, the energy was coming through. Like, no, these are forms. These are, I'm almost getting the energy like uh, kind of spirits giving me like seeing sounds. It's more of that exercise. We know what sounds sound like, but how do they look? And this is kind of like this reading a little bit is there's something a little bit too rigid in it to say that it's vibrational of a reading. But yeah, we're getting close, it's not quite there because I think vibration would be more fluid. But something to kind of do with that. They're almost like, if it was like sounds, these are kind of like notes opposed to waves. When you see the notes on a what's it called? Like the the only word that's coming through is like the hymn sheet. I don't think they're called hymn sheets. They're only called hymn sheets in a church. But like I don't know how that word's leaving me, but you know what I'm saying actually. I think the analogy was good, that these are more like notes opposed to waves of energy. The wave. They're like just instruction sheets. No, it's crazy how I can't remember that. Damn. Guess you can put it in the comment section if you know what I'm talking about. Pile threes. Don't know why that's left me. But anyways, there's an energy here of uh, I feel like part three, you're kind of a bit more of like the brainy type. Could be the masculines listening to this, or maybe not. You might just be in your masculine energy, because there's something like I can't help but think of like math when I look at that, sums, figures, that type of energy. Like I'm almost getting, you know, like characters, like code, might be coders. Basically, people find your intelligence attractive. What's it called? There's some stupid word that people use on dating apps to say that they're interested in people who are just smart. It's a stupid word for it. I can't remember what it is. They say, yeah, they're attracted to people's intelligence. I guess that's true for everyone, but there's a certain word for it. I think people are into that with you. It might even just be like what you do. Like it might not even be necessarily like straight up intelligence. It might just be like attracted to you when you're doing your thing, whatever that thing is. I think there's that energy coming through. So there is something a little bit here like of an illusion. There's some kind of illusion, like part three, you might kind of be a little bit of that darker energy too. I wouldn't go as far as Scorpio, because Scorpio is very, at least for me, it gives me much more of that lustful, sexual energy. This pile doesn't seem very sexual. Actually, it seems a bit opposite of sexual. A little bit rigid when it comes to sexuality. And again, if this doesn't relate to you, then it's not your pile. But this is almost more into your work than into your sexuality. Yeah, kind of the energy that likes to build on things. I would say pile three is like, doesn't matter if you're feminine or masculine listening to this, you might want to exercise a little bit into your sexual side. Like this little squiggle here reminds me of like, it's almost like this wants to come in. I'm getting this vibe of like your sexuality wants to come into this. I feel like that sexual energy is going to help you be a little bit more creative. You might be listening to this going, I'm really creative as it is, but it's like there's some form of upgrade that you could indulge in to be even more creative if you embrace your sexuality more. And I guess that's going to mean something different for you all. I'm not sure, what that means for you individually. It certainly doesn't mean, pile number three, is that you just need to be more promiscuous and go have sex with anyone. It might just be like, it could be within yourself, understanding yourself sexually better. Or like if you've just got one partner, like just taking it to another level. I'm getting a little bit here like there's something a little bit it's funny because this reading's about what people find attractive about you, but there's something here that's just a little bit like walls up, but in a little bit of an overprotective way. Maybe that's what someone maybe or some people find attractive about you, though, in the same light. There's kind of a little bit of a look that I'm getting that maybe sometimes people look at you and go, I could loosen that person up. Does that make sense? You know, like when you see someone and it's like they just need to come out with me and have a good time. That that is attractive for certain people. I've also got the energy here of that what makes you comfortable is like when I'm looking at these, I'm kind of feeling like safe spaces. So you might have your boundaries up, but like when someone is in your space, they usually feel very comfortable. That energy is coming through. That's attractive about you. I guess you don't just let anyone in, but then when you do, there's you really have a comfortable space. I think in a way people are almost surprised by how comfortable your space is, if that makes sense. It reminds me of like walking up, and this is my architect side coming out. Forgive me, Paul Freeze. But like if you just walk past a very average looking house, but then when you open the front door, it's, very welcoming, and maybe you can really see that person's personality inside, you know, even if that's maybe things that they're interested in. Like you can basically really see their personality inside their home, but out externally, they're kind of quite a neutral looking person. We're talking about you here, Paul Freeze. So yeah, you might be somewhat of like a plain Jane or a plain Joe, but then when people see inside your home, they see all the personality that can be obviously um, compared to your outer and inner world too, not just your outer and inner home, but your outer and inner self. It's funny, like just to end this reading, I feel particularly with you, Paul Freeze, that some of the things that are kind of there's almost a little bit of an awkward vibe here. Some of the I think some of your awkwardness is attractive to some people too. It's really strange. Like the things that you some of the other piles got kind of quirkiness in there. I'm not using that word specifically because it's almost like that's the wrong word. It's more like I guess you could use quirks, but it would be more like your strange quirks, maybe things that you don't even like too much about yourself. One of the other piles, they got the difference between um, got some confirmation outside there, but we had a comparison between there's a fine line that they're crossing of quirky and crazy, and people like quirky but they don't like crazy. Your quirky is quirky and weird, or quirky and strange is probably the better one. So strange is different to crazy, but you tread on that line of quirky and strange, and your certain crowd here, they enjoy that about you. They like that line that you're crossing with quirky and strange. Does that make sense? It's that energy. It's not the person in the street kind of who you have to think, are they on crack? or do they have mental health issues? It's the person on the street which you go, oh, they're a bit odd. You know, it's that energy. But like I said to the other pole, who gives a fuck anyway? I definitely don't. So yeah, pile number 3 is awesome readings today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please do remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out the If You Pause website, ifyoupause.com, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.